On the first City Connect Saturday of the year, the New York Mets take the win over the Toronto Blue Jays and now have 2 wins out of 3 in this series. My thoughts and opinions on this game coming up right after the intro.
Meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life, because the Mets are really socking the ball, knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the Mets, Mets of New York Town.
Hello and welcome back to the Bleed Orange and Blue podcast. My name is TJ Labby and this is the post-game review. As you can hear, I'm talking a little softly tonight. Yes, this is being recorded at around near midnight, but I wanted to get this out. I want to stay consistent on these reviews. The game just ended about maybe an hour ago, and oh boy, was it ever a game. The Mets offense was just shut down against Chris Bassett, but then all of a sudden that late inning magic that we saw a lot of back in 2024, big coming up clutch in the late innings in this game. Jesse Winker, fantastic, a double, 2 triples, one of those triples for 2 RBIs, and then Lindor walking it off with a sac fly. And great work out of the bullpen tonight too. Of Budo doing good, Diaz bending but not breaking in his clutch spot in the ninth, and that was all she wrote. Pretty simple, pretty clean. Even though the Mets offense was absolutely dominated in the first half of this game, the second half is all that matters, and they were able to finish off in the second half. So let's quickly look through our stat lines for this game. On the pitching aspect, Griffin Canning, he did a fantastic job, even though not going that long. He pitched 4 innings, got allowed 4 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. The only earned run was off of Vladimir Guerrero RBI single. As said before, Vladdy can get you in many ways, and he was able to get Canning. It is what it is. Nothing much doing there. Budo, 1 2/3 of an inning, pitching 1 2/3, 3 hits allowed, 1 earned run, a walk, and a strikeout. He gave it up on an RBI double from Bo Bichette in the 6th. Oscar Brazaban, who has been just nails out of the pen, 2 1/3, a hit allowed, and a strikeout. Again, nails, looked great. Was a big component in keeping the Mets in this game. And then Diaz, who got the win tonight, an inning pitch, gave up 2 hits, but got 3 very, very clutch strikeouts. Good to see out of our closer, who still hasn't allowed a run this season, which is great to see coming from Diaz. And hopefully we can continue to see that when he has those save opportunities. As for the hitting was the hitting. Somehow they collected 8 hits through a rough night at the dish against Chris Bassett. Lindor 1 for 3 with an RBI and a walk. That RBI came off the walk-off sacrifice fly. He also knocked in a double to lead off the game back in the first. Juan Soto 1 for 4 with a run scored and a strikeout. He's cooling off a little bit, but I think it's always difficult facing veteran pitching, and Chris Bassett is a veteran, and he's very difficult to face. But Soto will pick it back up eventually. Still got a lot of time on this homestand before they head on the road. Alonso, the lone guy, 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts. He had a rough night at the plate, but again, Chris Bassett, he's faced before, and Bassett is a very good pitcher when he comes with his breaking stuff and his fastballs. So Alonso was just caught off guard by, I guess, everybody on the Toronto staff tonight. It is what it is. Off game. It's all right. Nimmo 0 for 4, nothing on the board. Winker 3 for 4, 2 RBIs, three a couple of those hits on triples. One of those hits was a double, so he was fantastic in the 5-hole tonight. Vientos 1 for 3, breaking out of an 0 for 17 slump, but 3 strikeouts. Still need to figure out on that. Beatty 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Nothing really going on there, and just unfortunately continues to prove that he is not an MLB caliber player. Jose Siri 0 for 2 with a run scored. The run scored was off the RBI sacrifice fly. 2 walks, so he was very patient at the plate tonight. Good to see. And then Hayden Sanger, who got the start instead of Torrens, he went 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Marte pinch hitting 0 for 1. And then Torrens, who eventually replaced Sanger in the 8th inning, was able to knock in a hit, and he went 1 for 1 on the night. Again, the final stat line for the in this game: Blue Jays 2 runs, 10 hits, no errors. Mets 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Edwin Diaz getting the save. Nick Sandlin with the loss. Quickly, our scoring in this game: Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with an RBI single made it 1-0. In the top of the 6th, Bo Bichette with an RBI double made it 2-0 Toronto. And when all was lost, when everybody thought all that was lost, bottom of the 8th, Jesse Winker with an RBI triple made it 2-2. And then Lindor with the walk-off in the 9th made it 3-2 Mets. Good to see from the Mets tonight. Griffin Canning looked solid. I'm glad to see that from the pitching, and hopefully the bullpen can keep it going. The offense, once they get it going, this team is going to be very tough to contend with. But that's all for me. This was a late night episode, a little short, a little sweet, just to get it out there. And that's for this episode of the Bleed Orange and Blue podcast. You can put it in the books.